Welcome back to Saltwater Stories.
It's great to be here.
This week, we're diving into the world of a creature that's been around for a seriously long time.
Oh, yeah, they've been around the block a few times.
The horseshoe crab.
That's right, the horseshoe crab.
Now, these guys, they've been cruising our oceans for almost 500 million years.
You got it.
500 million years.
It's hard to even fathom that amount of time.
I know. That's way before the dinosaurs even came onto the scene.
They predate so many of the creatures we think of as ancient.
And get this, even though they're called crabs,
Right.
they're actually more closely related to spiders and scorpions.
It's true. They're more like seagoing arachnids.
Who knew? So yeah, for millions of years, they've rocked this iconic horseshoe shape,
Yeah.
which is why they're often called living fossils.
Yeah, they're like little time capsules swimming around.
So get ready to hear about their incredible journey through time, their totally unique biology, and even how they play a role in keeping us humans healthy.
It's a fascinating story.
Okay, so let's hop into our time machine and crank it back to the Paleozoic era.
All right, buckle up.
We're talking seriously ancient history here.
We are indeed.
How far back are we going when we talk about the origins of the horseshoe crab?
Well, we're talking about almost 450 million years ago.
450 million years.
Yeah, think about a world where the continents were in completely different places
Oh, wow.
and life in the oceans was just starting to really take off.
So different from what we see today.
Oh, absolutely.
And horseshoe crabs were already there, just doing their thing.
They were some of the early pioneers of the marine world.
It's mind-blowing
It is.
to think they've witnessed so much change on our planet.
Yeah, they've seen it all.
I mean, we're talking about multiple mass extinction events.
Right, those periods where a huge chunk of life on Earth just vanished.
Gone just like that.
Yeah, like the Permian-Triassic extinction, which was devastating for ocean life.
Oh, wow.
And of course, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, the Cretaceous-Paleogene event.
And horseshoe crabs, they just kept on trucking.
They're survivors, that's for sure.
Talk about resilience.
Absolutely. It's a testament to how well adapted they are.
It's incredible.
It is.
It makes you wonder what they've seen over all that time.
If only they could talk, right?
Right. Imagine the stories they could tell.
I know, we could learn so much.
And we actually have fossil evidence to prove they were around back then.
Oh, yeah, the fossil record is amazing.
So we're not just speculating here.
They have actual proof.
We've got these fossils dating back to the late Ordovician period.
That's a seriously long time ago.
I know, and they've been found in some pretty interesting places.
Like Manitoba in Canada.
Manitoba.
Yeah, and even in the UK.
Wow, across the globe.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that these fossils, they look remarkably similar to the horseshoe crabs we see today.
So their basic design hasn't really changed that much.
Not really. It's like they found a winning formula and stuck with it.
It's like looking at a snapshot from almost 500 million years ago.
It really is a glimpse into deep time.
That's incredible. It's like they've perfected their design over all that time.
They've had plenty of time to refine things.
Okay, so we've talked about how they're not true crabs and how they're super ancient.
Right.
But if they aren't crustaceans, then who are their closest relatives in the animal kingdom?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Lay it on me.
So while they might look a bit like crabs with their hard shells, genetic studies have shown that they're actually more closely related to arachnids.
Arachnids?
Yeah, spiders, scorpions.
You're kidding.
Nope, it's true. They're like distant cousins of those creepy crawlies.
So the next time I see a horseshoe crab, I should think of it as like a sea spider.
Yeah, kind of like a sea spider that traded in some legs for a super cool shield.
A shielded sea spider. I love it.
It's a pretty accurate description.
Okay, so we've got ancient history and surprising family ties.
We do.
Now let's talk about what makes these creatures tick.
Sounds good.
Let's get into their anatomy and physiology.
All right, let's dive in.
Starting with that unmistakable horseshoe shell. What's the deal with that?
Ah, yes, that iconic shell. It's actually their exoskeleton, and it's made primarily of chitin.
Chitin.
Yeah, it's the same stuff that makes up the hard outer coverings of insects.
Oh, like a beetle's shell.
Exactly. And for horseshoe crabs, this exoskeleton is both strong and flexible, giving them protection and support.
So it's like their suit of armor.
Precisely their personal suit of armor.
And they have to shed it as they grow.
That's right. They molt, just like snakes shedding their skin.
Except they're shedding their whole shell.
The whole thing, it's pretty amazing to see.
It must be a vulnerable time for them.
It is. They're soft and exposed until the new shell hardens.
But it's essential for their growth.
Absolutely. They can't grow without shedding that old exoskeleton.
Okay, so this exoskeleton, it's divided into three main parts, right?
You got it, the prosoma, the opistosoma, and the telson.
Okay, break those down for me.
Sure. So the prosoma, that's the big dome-shaped head region.
The prominent part we all recognize.
Right. Then you have the opistosoma, which is the middle section.
The body, basically.
Yeah. And lastly, there's the telson, which is that tail spine.
Oh, that pointy thing.
Yeah, that's the telser.
And the big dome on top, that's the carapace.
Exactly. It's like a shield protecting their head and vital organs.
Smart design.
It's very effective. It also helps them burrow in the sand and move through the water.
Streamlined and protected.
That's the horseshoe crab.
Now, I have to ask about this because it's just so cool.
Okay, what is it?
Their blood, it's blue.
It is. It's one of their most fascinating features.
Blue blood, it sounds like something out of a fantasy novel.
I know, right? But it's true.
So is it actually blue?
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful shade of blue.
Wow, so why is it blue?
Well, it's all about the way they transport oxygen.
Okay, tell me more.
So their circulatory system is open, and their blood, or hemolymph, uses a copper-based protein called hemocyanin to carry oxygen.
Hemocyanin.
Yeah, and it's the copper that gives their blood that blue color.
So unlike our iron-based hemoglobin, which makes our blood red,
Exactly. They've got copper pumping through their veins.
it's amazing.
It is.
Blue blood, just like royalty.
Haha, they do have an air of nobility about them.
But it's not just a cool color, right?
Right.
I read that their blue blood has some pretty important uses for us humans.
You're right, it does. It's actually quite remarkable.
So tell me what's so special about horseshoe crab blood?
Well, their hemolymph contains these specialized cells called amoebocytes.
Amoebocytes.
Yeah, and these amoebocytes are incredibly sensitive to the presence of bacterial substances called endotoxins.
Endotoxins, those are bad news, right?
They can be very harmful to humans if they get into our bloodstream.
So how do the amoebocytes help?
Well, they react very strongly to even tiny amounts of endotoxins. They basically clot up around them.
So they're like little bacteria detectors.
Exactly, and this sensitivity is what makes their blood so valuable in medicine.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So scientists have figured out how to use this clotting reaction to create a test for endotoxins.
Oh, wow.
It's called the LAL test. LAL stands for Limulus amoebocyte lysate.
LAL got it. And this test helps ensure that things like vaccines and injectable medications are safe.
Precisely, it's used to make sure that these medical products aren't contaminated with endotoxins.
So before I get a flu shot, they've used horseshoe crab blood to make sure it's safe?
In a way, yes.
That's incredible.
It is. It's a remarkable example of how nature can provide solutions to human problems.
And it's not just vaccines, right? It's used for a lot of different medical products.
That's right. Anything that's injected or implanted needs to be tested for endotoxins.
So these ancient creatures are helping to keep us healthy.
They are. They play a crucial role in modern medicine.
I'm starting to see why they're so important.
They're truly fascinating creatures.
Okay, let's move on to another amazing thing I read about them.
What's that?
They have 10 eyes.
They do. It's true.
10 eyes. What do they need 10 eyes for?
Well, it's not like they have supervision or anything,
Okay.
but their visual system is really interesting.
I bet.
So these 10 eyes, they actually have different functions.
So it's not like they all work the same way.
No, some are good at detecting light and movement, which helps them navigate and avoid predators.
I sense.
Others are thought to be involved in finding mates.
Oh, wait. Glove goggles.
Something like that.
And they even have eyes that help regulate their internal clock.
Yeah, their circadian rhythms,
And get this, some of their eyes can detect ultraviolet light.
which scientists believe might help them navigate.
So they have built-in UV detectors.
It seems so.
That's wild.
It is. Their visual system is quite complex.
Okay, so we've talked about their shell, their blue blood, and their 10 eyes.
We have.
But with all that armor, how do they breathe underwater?
Well, they breathe using book gills.
Book gills. What are those?
They're these layered structures located on the underside of their opistosoma.
Under their belly, basically.
Exactly. And they look a bit like the pages of a book.
So that's how they got their name.
Yep, the design increases the surface area for gas exchange.
So more surface area means more oxygen.
Right, and what's really cool is that these book gills also allow them to breathe air for short periods.
Oh, wow. So they can survive out of the water for a bit.
They can, as long as it's not too long.
That's pretty handy, especially if they get stranded on the beach.
It is. It gives them a bit of a buffer.
So they're like the ultimate survivors.
They're pretty tough, that's for sure.
Okay, so they can breathe underwater and on land for short periods.
Yep.
But how do they actually move around?
Well, they have 5 pairs of jointed walking legs.
5 pair, that's 10 legs.
That's right. And each leg has claws or spines that help them walk on the seabed and dig for food.
So they're not exactly speed demons,
No, they're more like slow and steady crawlers.
but they can swim, right?
They usually flip over and use their legs and gills to propel themselves.
So they swim upside down.
It looks a bit funny, but it works for them.
And it makes sense with those book gills flapping around.
Yeah, it's like they're paddling with their bellies.
Okay, let's talk about that tail, the telson.
All right.
It looks pretty sharp.
It does.
Is it dangerous?
Actually, no, it's not used for defense.
So it's not a weapon.
Nope. Its main purpose is for self-righting.
Self-righting.
Yeah. If a wave flips them over, they use their tail to help them flip back over.
And that's clever.
It also helps with balance and provides some sensory information.
So it's like a multi-purpose tool.
Exactly. It's essential for their survival.
Okay, so we've covered their breathing, their movement, and their tail.
We have.
Now, do they change much as they grow from babies to adults?
Oh, yeah. There are some noticeable differences.
So baby horseshoe crabs aren't just tiny versions of the adults?
No, they go through some pretty significant changes.
Like what?
Well, for one, juveniles have softer exoskeletons, and they molt much more frequently.
Because they're growing so fast.
Exactly. They need to shed their shells more often to accommodate their growth.
And as they become adults, their shells become thicker and more rigid.
Right, and they don't molt as often.
And there are also differences between males and females, right?
Females tend to be larger than males.
Girl power.
Haha. And males develop these specialized claspers on their first pair of walking legs.
Claspers? What are those for?
They use them to hold on to the females during mating.
Oh, so it's like a built-in love handle.
You could say that.
Fascinating.
It is.
Okay, so they go through some pretty big transformations as they mature.
They do.
And they seem pretty adaptable to their environment. I read that they can handle changes in salinity.
You're right. They're remarkably tolerant of fluctuating salt levels.
Which is pretty important for creatures that live in coastal areas.
It is, especially in estuaries where freshwater and saltwater mix.
So they can handle a range of conditions.
They can. They're very versatile.
Okay, so we've got ancient, blue-blooded, 10-eyed, shielded sea spiders. They can breathe air, handle salty environments, and flip themselves over with their tails.
That's a pretty good summary.
What's not to love?
They're pretty amazing.
But what role do these incredible creatures play in their coastal ecosystems?
Well, they have a really important ecological job description.
Okay, tell me about it.
So in the coastal ecosystems where they live primarily along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts for the species we're talking about,
Okay.
they're both predators and prey.
A balancing act.
Exactly. So they live in sandy and muddy areas.
Right, I've seen them on the beach.
And they feed on things like detritus, which is dead organic matter.
So they're like nature's cleanup crew.
In a way, yes. They also eat small invertebrates and algae.
Keeping things in balance.
That's right. And of course, they're also a food source for other animals.
Like who?
Certain fish, sea turtles, and shorebirds rely on them for food.
So they're a vital part of the food web.
Absolutely. They're a key link in the coastal ecosystem.
And their eggs. I remember reading that their eggs are super important for some migratory birds.
You're absolutely right. Their eggs are a crucial food source for many shorebird species.
Now we're talking about birds that fly really long distances, right?
Exactly like the red knot, which migrates from South America all the way to the Arctic.
That's an incredible journey.
It is, and they rely on horseshoe crab eggs to fuel their flight.
So fewer horseshoe crabs could mean trouble for these birds.
It could have a ripple effect throughout the ecosystem.
It's amazing how everything is connected.
It really is. Nature is a complex web of interactions.
And what else do horseshoe crabs do for their coastal neighborhoods?
Well, their burrowing activities are important for the sediment.
How so?
It helps aerate the sand and mud, which is good for nutrient cycling.
So they're like little ecosystem engineers.
Exactly. They're constantly working to improve their environment.
And their waste products also contribute nutrients.
Right. Nothing goes to waste in nature.
It's a closed loop.
And those big gatherings of horseshoe crabs during spawning season.
Yeah, I'm seeing pictures of that. It's pretty wild.
They attract other marine life, creating these temporary hotspots of activity.
So they're like the life of the party.
Haha, in a way, yes. They bring everyone together.
And they have relationships with other creatures too, right?
Yes. They often have barnacles or slipper snails attached to their shells.
There's those little cone-shaped things, right?
Exactly. They hitch a ride on the horseshoe crab.
It's like a free taxi service.
It is. They don't seem to mind.
So they're supporting other species, even in death.
That's right. Their carcasses provide nutrients that enrich the coastal waters.
It's amazing how one creature can have such a big impact.
They're truly remarkable animals.
And they survive for so long, they must be pretty tough when it comes to changes in their environment.
They are. They've weathered a lot of storms over millions of years.
But they're facing some challenges these days, aren't they?
They are, unfortunately, human activities are putting a strain on their populations.
That's what I wanted to talk about next.
Okay.
The conservation of horseshoe crabs.
It's a critical issue.
So what's the current situation with their numbers, and what are the biggest threats to their survival?
Well, the conservation status of horseshoe crabs varies depending on the region.
Okay, so it's not the same everywhere.
No, some populations are doing better than others.
And for the Atlantic horseshoe crab, which is the one we're focusing on,
Right, Limulus polyphemus.
Limulus polyphemus.
It's currently classified as a least concern on a global scale.
So that means they're not in immediate danger of extinction,
Right, but that doesn't mean everything is fine.
because there are local populations that are struggling.
Exactly. Many populations are experiencing significant declines.
So the global assessment doesn't always tell the whole story.
We need to pay attention to what's happening locally.
So what are the main reasons for these declines in certain areas?
The biggest threats are habitat loss, overharvesting, and pollution.
Okay, break those down for me.
Sure, so habitat loss is a big one.
Meaning they're losing their homes?
Exactly. Their spawning grounds are being destroyed by coastal development.
That makes sense. People are building more and more along the coast.
Right, and that's encroaching on horseshoe crab habitat.
And then there's overharvesting.
Yeah, they're being harvested for bait and for their blood.
We talked about how valuable their blood is for medicine.
Right, and unfortunately, the demand for LAL has led to overfishing in some areas.
And pollution is also a factor.
Yes, pollution from various sources can harm horseshoe crabs and degrade their environment.
It's a triple whammy.
It is. They're facing a lot of pressure.
And on top of all that, we have climate change to worry about.
Right. Climate change is a major threat to many species, including horseshoe crabs.
So how is a changing climate affecting them?
Well, rising sea levels are a big concern.
Because their spawning grounds are low-lying.
Exactly. The rising water is shrinking the amount of suitable habitat.
That's a big problem.
It is, and changes in water temperature can also disrupt their development.
So it's affecting their whole life cycle,
It can, and there are also concerns about ocean acidification.
which is caused by increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Right, and it can make it harder for them to form their shells.
So it's a multifaceted threat.
It is, climate change is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences.
It's overwhelming to think about.
It can be, but we need to understand the challenges so we can find solutions.
So what are people doing to help protect horseshoe crabs?
Well, there are a number of conservation efforts underway.
That's good to hear.
There are regulatory measures in place in many regions.
Like laws and fishing quotas.
Exactly, things like that to try and manage the harvest and protect their habitat.
And there are organizations working on this too, right?
Oh, yeah. NGOs are playing a vital role.
What are they doing specifically?
Well, they're funding research, providing expertise, and advocating for stronger conservation policies.
So they're really pushing for change.
They're raising awareness and working to influence decision-making.
And it's not just the big organizations, right? I've heard that local communities are getting involved too.
Absolutely. Community-driven conservation is becoming increasingly important.
So it's a grassroots movement.
In a way, yes, people are realizing that they can make a difference.
So what are people doing at the local level?
Well, there are things like spawning surveys where volunteers help count horseshoe crabs.
Citizen science.
Exactly, and tagging programs where they help track the crabs' movements.
So everyday people are contributing to scientific research.
They are. It's a great way to get involved and learn more about these amazing creatures.
And it sounds like there's a lot of collaboration going on.
There is. Scientists are working with governments, with industries, with local communities.
It's a team effort.
It has to be successful.
It's inspiring to see so many people working together to protect them.
It is. It gives me hope for the future.
Now let's talk about the science behind all this.
All right.
What kind of tools and technologies are being used to study and help horseshoe crabs?
Well, there are some really cool advancements in research.
Okay, tell me about it.
So, genetic and molecular research is giving us a much deeper understanding of their evolutionary history and how different populations are related.
So we're learning more about their family tree.
Exactly. And we're using tracking and tagging technologies to map their movements.
Like GPS for horseshoe crabs?
Kind of, yeah. We can track them as they migrate and see where they go.
That's amazing.
It helps us identify critical habitats that need protection.
And we're also using remote sensing and GIS, right?
Yes, those tools help us monitor their habitats over large areas.
So we can see how things are changing over time.
Exactly. And there's a lot of interdisciplinary research happening too.
Interdisciplinary meaning what?
It means scientists from different fields are working together.
Oh, cool. Like who?
While biologists are teaming up with engineers, for example,
To do what?
to develop new conservation solutions.
Interesting. So they're combining their knowledge.
It's precisely, and it's leading to some really innovative approaches.
I read something about bio-inspired technologies. What are those?
Yes, that's a fascinating area of research.
Tell me more.
So it's basically about taking inspiration from nature to solve human problems.
So in this case, we're learning from horseshoe crabs.
Exactly. We're studying their unique adaptations and seeing if we can apply those principles to engineering and technology.
Wow, like what?
Well, their eyes, for example, they're incredibly sensitive to light.
We talked about their 10 eyes.
Right. So scientists are studying their eye structure to see if we can develop new types of light sensors.
So we can build better cameras or telescopes.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing.
It's like we're unlocking the secrets of nature.
And using that knowledge to benefit humanity.
I love it.
Me too. It's one of the most exciting things about science.
And what about their blood? Are there still new things being discovered about it?
Oh, definitely. Scientists are continuing to study their hemolymph and their immune system.
To see if there are other medical applications.
Right. We've only just scratched the surface of what we can learn from them.
So there's still so much potential.
There is. It's an ongoing area of research.
Okay, so we've got all these amazing scientists working on horseshoe crabs.
We do.
But what about the bigger picture? What are the future directions for their study and conservation?
That's a great question.
What trends are you seeing emerge?
Well, climate change is going to continue to be a major focus.
We talked about all the ways it's affecting them.
Right. So we need to better understand those impacts and develop strategies to mitigate them.
So more research is needed.
Absolutely. And we're likely to see an increased use of technology for monitoring.
Like what kind of technology?
Things like drones and underwater sensors that can collect data remotely.
So we can get a better picture of what's happening in real time.
Exactly. And we need to continue to develop sustainable harvesting practices.
So we can use their blood without harming their populations.
Right. And that might involve things like horseshoe crab farming or finding alternatives to LAL.
We talked about RFC as a possible alternative.
Exactly. So there's a lot of work being done on that front.
And what about the role of artificial intelligence?
AI is becoming increasingly important in conservation.
How so?
It can help us analyze massive amounts of data.
Data about horseshoe crab populations and their environment.
Right. And that can help us predict trends and make better decisions about conservation.
So it's like using big data to help these little creatures.
You could say that.
And genetic research is also going to be important.
It is. It can help us understand their evolutionary history and their adaptive potential.
So we can learn how they've survived for so long.
And use that knowledge to help them survive in the future.
It's all about connecting the past, present, and future.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach to conservation.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from ancient history to cutting-edge science.
It's been a fascinating journey.
And it's clear that horseshoe crabs are more than just strange-looking creatures on the beach.
They're integral parts of their ecosystems, and they play a crucial role in human health.
They're a reminder that we're all connected.
And that our actions have consequences for the natural world.
So the next time you're at the coast, take a moment to appreciate these ancient mariners.
They have a story to tell.
A story that spans millions of years.
And their future depends on us.
Thanks for joining us on Saltwater Stories.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep exploring.
And keep learning about the wonders of the ocean.
There's always something new to discover.
Bye for now.
See you later.
And thanks for listening.
Thank you.